And now it's time for the middleweight super fight. It's going to be the battle of the strikers. Jermaine Bam Bam Andre, the hands and feet of steel against the chin of steel. Steve, the Lionheart, Vigneault.
I'm the product of Jermaine Bam Bam Andre. I'm representing Ron Smith's Muay Thai Academy. I came all the way from St. Louis to bring some of that St. Louis drama to Canada. Let the bodies hit the floor, baby.
You know, Jermaine Andre, I got to be honest, I like Thomas Denny's hair, but Jermaine Andre has the best hair, I think, in mixed martial arts. If this guy was standing across the ring from me, I would just straight up run.
He definitely brings hairstyle to a whole new level in this sport. He has definitely a very intimidating physical presence as he walks down to the ring.
Oh, yeah, he's all about the presence. Colangelo, what do you think about this cat?
And I train with a lot of good athletes, and this guy is something else. I mean, he's a striker. He's built like a tank, and he can go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, he's got great hair, too. You can't deny the hair. He's got fantastic striking, though. I mean, if you just look at his pre-fight, display of clips of some of his past fights, he is just a beast.
Hands, feet, I mean, he brings it all. He is a complete striker. He's a complete fighter, but, I mean, his striking is where he really excels.
Bringing the St. Louis Heat to TKO tonight. It's his TKO debut, and you can expect that he's going to want to shine and shine real bright if he wants to come back and do it again.
That is a scary sight to look across the ring and see Jermaine Andre. He's coming here to bang tonight.
Now, Bam Bam, he didn't get that nickname for absolutely nothing. Let's take a look at his opponent, the Lionheart, Steve Vigneault.
Pour être le meilleur, il faut battre les meilleurs. Ce soir, c'est le test ultime. To be the best, you need to beat the best. Tonight is the ultimate test.
I love this guy. I mean, I've never seen someone come out and just brawl like this guy. If you see him, wait till he gets in the ring, you see him take his shirt off. You're going to look at him, you're going to look at Jermaine Andre, and you're going to obviously put Jermaine Andre as a favor. But you can't dismiss this guy's striking abilities. He was nervous backstage tonight. I saw him and he was kind of worried because he knows he's got a chin of steel. He's a great striker, but he knows the reputation Jermaine Andre has of being a knockout artist. But we'll see what happens in the ring tonight.
Yeah, Steve Vigneault, champion in 2 different weight classes. He's the TKO Canadian middleweight champion and the TKO Canadian light heavyweight champion. So this guy, he's a bit of a worker, John. Would you agree with that?
He is an absolute workhorse. He brings a lot of skills to the table, but like we said, that chin of steel seems like a great matchup stylistically with Jermaine Andre.
Yeah, Mark makes a very good point. He does have a chin of steel. I don't think you could knock Steve Vigneault out if you hit him like face first with a shovel. It would be ridiculous. Steve Vigneault has the toughest chin I've ever seen in mixed martial arts. He can bang, he can go back and forth. And like Mark said, you made a good point, Mark, about looking at Steve Vigneault and then putting Jermaine Andre beside him. You're going to look at the body structure, and you're going to see two athletes that you don't think are even well matched. But Steve Vigneault is an animal. I mean, there's no doubt.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's been in the ring with some of the toughest guys. He's, you know, just his previous fight against Jeremy Sills. I mean, a guy a lot bigger than him. He went in there, he went toe to toe, and he took his belt away from him. The guy's a machine. He amazes me.
Let's go to Anthony Horn to get the formal particulars on these two fighters.
Le prochain combat de la soirée est un super défi chez les poids moyens et vous est présenté par IronicStudio.com. The next bout of the evening is a UCC middleweight super fight and is proudly brought to you by IronicStudio.com. Ce combat est prévu pour 3 rounds de 5 minutes. This bout is scheduled for 3 rounds of 5 minutes. Veuillez prendre note qu'aucun titre n'est en jeu dans ce combat international. This international super fight is a non-title bout. Tout d'abord, dans le coin bleu, il s'agit de son premier combat au UCC. Sa fiche en combat ultime est de 4 victoires et 2 défaites. De St. Louis, Missouri, mesurant 5 pieds 6, pesant 184 livres. Introducing first in the blue corner. He's making his UCC debut and has a pro mixed martial art record of 4-2. From St. Louis, Missouri, standing 5'6" and weighing 184 pounds. Il est le champion mondial de la ISCA chez les poids moyens en Muay Thai. Il est aussi le champion mondial des poids moyens à la WFA en combat ultime. He is the ISCA Cruiserweight Muay Thai Champion of the world and the WFA World Middleweight Champion. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, Bam Bam Jermaine Andre! Son adversaire dans le coin rouge. Il participe ce soir à son 9e combat dans le ring du UCC. Sa fiche en combat ultime est de 8 victoires et 3 défaites, donc 7 victoires par KO. Des Îles-de-la-Madeleine, Québec, mesurant 5 pieds 10, pesant 184 livres. His opponent in the red corner. He is an 8-time UCC veteran with a pro mixed martial art record of 8-3, including 7 wins by knockout. From Magdalen Islands, Quebec, standing 5'10" and weighing 184 pounds. Il est le champion canadien des poids moyens et des poids mi-lourds. He is the undisputed UCC Canadian middleweight champion and also the UCC Canadian light heavyweight champion. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, le cœur de lion, Steve Vigneault!
Now, Mark, take a look at Jermaine Andre's physique here. He's 5'6", but he's 184 pounds. That's about as big as you can be and still be, you know, in his weight division. He's a big, put-together guy.
Yeah, basically, Jermaine Andre's 5 foot square. I mean, look at the guy. He's chiseled. He's huge. I'd hate to see what he looks like when he doesn't cut weight. I wouldn't want to be standing across the ring from him.
No, neither would I. We're going to find out if these guys are going to take it to each other and go toe-to-toe like their profiles describe. We know Vigneault. We're about to find out all about Jermaine Andre. Let's get this fight underway. A little touch of gloves there, show respect. Jermaine Andre opening things up with a round kick to the side of Steve Vigneault.
You know, I know that Steve Vigneault's got heavy hands. He's a great puncher, but I don't know if Jermaine Andre may have the advantage because he's got his 4 weapons using his feet so effectively.
I got to give the edge to reach to Steve Vigneault. And you hear the crowd already, John. Steve Vigneault, the chance of the fight's only, what, 30 seconds in.
Very partial crowd here tonight. They love the Lionheart.
Great combos by Jermaine Andre here. He's trying to create a little bit of space, maybe throw some low leg kicks. He's got great body shots on Steve Vigneault right now. Great uppercuts there. You see knees try to open things up, and Vigneault answers right away.
They are both working the body heavily and hitting those knees right to the outer thigh. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that's a Charlie horse if I've ever seen one. Here you see them trying to create more space here. Oh, nice uppercut by Steve Vigneault. Oh, another one by Jermaine Andre.
Both fighters working in that clinch very well, trying to stay busy, trying to stay really busy.
Here, Andre's corner shouting to tell him to stay busy as well, as you see him delivering more body shots, uppercuts and knees, and those are going to take their toll as the fight goes on.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of damage can be done from within the clinch position. These guys are both, they're both working it pretty well right now.
And 3 rounds, Mark. I mean, you're a fighter. You know how this feels.
Yeah, when someone's very big and strong and they're leaning on you, you know, and they're hitting you in the body, that can take a lot out of you. You really want to make him play your game and not basically get caught up in his.
Great exchange by both fighters. Vigneault landed some combos, and there you see Jermaine Andre had a great front kick that sent Vigneault back about 3 steps, and now they're back into the clinch. 3:15 left in round number 1, and this is a 3-round fight, so stamina is going to be a factor. We're going to find out who's the better conditioned athlete here tonight as the crowd chants Vigneault once again.
It looks like they're both playing a smart game here. They're not expending all their energy too early. They're feeling each other out, but man, they're going for it. Those body shots, those knees.
Oh, great
knee.
hurt. That's a great knee by Jermaine Andre. Oh, stiff combos by both fighters here. Now, if you're Jermaine Andre, Mark, what is your best defense as far as Vigneault? Because he constantly moves forward.
Well, see, with Jermaine Andre, he's got the Muay Thai skills. I would use my clinch, use my knees, use the forearms on your feet. I mean, a lot of people use the forearms on the ground, but you know, a lot of guys are starting to get that hand in the face and slip that forearm across, using it as a blade. It's legal here in TKO, so I mean, by all means, he's got to use his Muay Thai skills to his advantage and basically tie up Steve Vigneault's hands so he doesn't get hit with no heavy bombs.
Absolutely. Jermaine Andre just actually threw a round kick to the left side of Vigneault. Vigneault caught it, moved right in, and nailed Jermaine right down the pipe with a clean shot.
That was classic Muay Thai right there.
Low kick, and there you see some great combos by Steve Vigneault. That last shot looked like it crept right through.
I think Steve Vigneault's been looking at his videotapes, and he's looking at the tendencies that Jermaine Andre has. When a guy throws a kick, you know it's going to land. Step in and blast him with the hands.
Vigneault got a little bit of a size advantage here. Jermaine Andre has to circle out of this position, or they're going to look to be separated by referee Yves Leving. There's that knee by Jermaine Andre. There's that Muay Thai background. He is a specialist with those knees and those elbows. But here you see Vigneault unloading. Oh, great knee by Vigneault as well to the body of Jermaine Andre. Jermaine's not liking that, so he delivered one of his own right back.
Yeah, the Lionheart seems to be opening up here a little bit on Andre.
Steve just refuses to be outstruck. I mean, if he's going to get hit by something, he's going to hit you back with 3 shots of the same caliber.
Yeah, he makes you pay for every shot that you get. It's a pretty even matchup right now. Oh, there you see Jermaine Andre go for the takedown. He gets it on Steve Vigneault, passing now. He's got one leg caught in here. Will Vigneault keep the half guard, or will Jermaine Andre be able to pass here, Mark?
I don't know. I mean, Steve's been working with the guys at TriStar on the ground, so I mean, he's got some good jiu-jitsu players to play with, you know, and learn his submissions. Will he do well? I don't know. I haven't seen him enough on the ground, but so far I think he's holding his own right here, and he seems to be comfortable on the bottom.
As does Andre on top. Here's Steve Vigneault's bleeding heavily from the nose. Actually, wait a minute. No, changing views. This is actually Jermaine Andre who's bleeding. So one of those shots that Vigneault got in must have hit Jermaine Andre right on the button.
That's always a good factor when it comes to the scoring cards. I mean, it's very evenly matched this fight so far. So, I mean, giving the advantage maybe to Andre with the takedown. But when referees see blood, they usually has an effect on their judging.
Steve Vigneault back up to his feet, so look for some knees and punches here. Some great combinations from both fighters. They're just moments away, but the round is over. Great show respect. Both fighters touching gloves. Vigneault a little bloody under the eye, and Jermaine Andre's got a bit of a nosebleed problem there, John.
That was a fantastic round there. Jermaine, he's bleeding a little bit. I think he's okay.
Take a look at some of the replays here. There you see a great body shot to start the fight off, and here you see another combination knee punch combo from Steve Vigneault. He goes under, then right over with that overhand right. Oh, those. Oh, John.
That work to the body and the thighs being done from the clinch is just devastating.
Hurts me just looking at it. There's that front kick that sent Vigneault back a couple of steps. And leading up to this takedown coming up here by Jermaine Andre, as Vigneault gets a great combo in here. You got great uppercuts, great rights, great lefts. Like, Vigneault just constantly moves forward. There's that uppercut we're talking about right there by Vigneault. And here's the takedown by Jermaine Andre. Picks Vigneault up and just drops him right down, and he's content to stay in the guard.
There's that explosive power from Andre.
Oh, that's a vicious elbow as well. There's what opened up the small cut on the left eye of Steve Vigneault.
And that's what I'm talking about. He's got to be doing that on the ground and standing.
Getting set for the start of round number 2. Both fighters coming out. Touching gloves. Round number 2 is underway. Scheduled for 3 rounds as Vigneault opens up with a nice jab. And Jermaine Andre going for a shoot there. Steve Vigneault, great takedown defense there.
Those shots are landing heavy because there's no way that a guy like Jermaine Andre, who's such a world-renowned kickboxer, Muay Thai fighter, wants to take someone to the ground. And those punches that he's receiving, he's not liking them.
No, I can't imagine that he is. As you see, actually, Steve Vigneault starting to welt up a bit on the left side of his back from those body shots of Jermaine Andre. Now, Mark, I mean, you're a fighter, so you're used to being in there. And what would you say? Who would you give round number 1 to if you were scoring this fight?
I'd have to give round number 1 to Jermaine Andre for the simple reason of the takedown. I mean, they're both showing aggressiveness. They're both landing punches. They're both landing kicks. They're hitting each other with knees. But the takedown, to me, gives the edge to Andre.
And here comes an edge right now. It's the edge hand of Steve Vigneault's punches landing on Jermaine Andre as he looks to cover up and try to counterpunch. And there's a great right hook by Jermaine Andre that landed, but Vigneault constantly moving forward.
Both fighters really starting to open up here now, really pushing the action.
That's the thing with Steve Vigneault. You got to understand, as a fan, as you watch this guy, he's like a machine. He's like a robot. No matter how many times you hit him, he keeps coming forward. Nothing you do will keep him backpedaling. I've never seen Steve Vigneault on his heels.
He is that perpetual motion machine, JT. It's unreal.
He's landed with some heavy shots, as well as Jermaine Andre needs to circle out of this corner. If he sits there and lets Vigneault work, that's exactly what Vigneault's going to do. He's going to work Jermaine Andre. Great punches again by Steve Vigneault. Oh, and a nice knee with a combo left-right. Jermaine Andre's got to get out of there right now. He's eating a lot of leather right now.
Yeah, Vigneault's putting a lot of pressure on him. It's showing on the face of Andre.
He's starting to swell already. Here comes the crowd again. 3 minutes left in round number 2 as Jermaine Andre goes for a very, very low single, doesn't get a thing, and has to pull guard.
Now that's desperation right there. Once you're in the corner getting pounded like that, you got to get out, and he couldn't see any other exit. Basically, Vigneault was blocking the doors for him.
Now we're going to see the groundwork of Jermaine Andre. We haven't seen a lot of Jermaine Andre on the ground. We know he's got great takedown defense. We know he's got pretty good submissions as well. So we're going to find out what he can do with a guy like Vigneault, who has way better reach than Jermaine Andre from this position. But Andre's trying to fight back. Here, Jermaine Andre's corner. You got to get busy.
He's basically got, he's got to get to his feet. He's a puncher kicker. He needs to wrap him up, hold him there, let them stand him up, because if he gets mounted right here, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, it's a place where Jermaine Andre doesn't want to be, that's for sure. You see him trying to work for a scramble here. He's trying to throw the up kick, and he's actually throwing bombs from his back. Got to give him credit for effort as he goes for a leg lock here. He's going for what looks to be a knee bar. Changing up to a toe hold there, Mark.
Yeah, Steve's pretty safe where he is. He's nice and calm. He's relaxed. He didn't feel any danger, and there you have it. They're both on their feet.
Absolutely, Jermaine Andre, pretty good transitions though. He went from a knee bar to a toe hold, and then transitioned right into a heel hook, but Vigneault pulled right out.
Yeah, Steve seems to be very comfortable on the ground. I don't think he was in any danger at any point there.
No, he didn't seem too nervous, that's for sure. Both fighters got to be a little bit spent at this point, regardless of their cardio. And there you hear the crowd again, John. Vigneault, Vigneault, Vigneault.
And that's got to be a bit of a factor here. Vigneault knowing that all these people here in the Pierre Carbonneau Center are right behind him.
Oh, and those knees are right in front of him. They're landing on Steve Vigneault right now. Jermaine Andre's vicious with his knees.
Yeah, I think Steve Vigneault's got a whole body of steel. I don't know, just his chin. I mean, this guy, I've seen him take beatings to the body, to the legs, and he just keeps coming. There's no stopping this guy.
Less than 1 minute left in round number 2. TKO middleweight super fight. Steve Vigneault, Jermaine Andre with some fast hands here to close out the second round. What a body shot by Steve Vigneault. And Jermaine Andre follows up with a stiff jab. Oh, that hurt. That was a bit low. Jermaine Andre, yeah, he knew and apologized for it right away. The question is, what did that take out of Vigneault?
He seems to be okay.
Under TKO rules, he actually will get a few minutes to 5 minutes actually exactly to regain himself, get his composure back, get some air, and then if he chooses to continue, then he'll go on.
With all the adrenaline going through you, a shot in the mommy daddy button doesn't always affect you, but it seems that he's going to use this to his advantage and take a breather.
Jermaine Andre looks a bit gassed. Yeah, if I were Steve Vigneault at this point, I'd be jumping all over it. I mean, if he's not that injured, he should get in there because Jermaine Andre's panting like a dog in the corner. You know, if Vigneault was smart, he'd be all over that right now. But, I mean, maybe Vigneault's a little bit more hurt and more stunned than what we can see from our vantage point.
Exactly. I'd count on Vigneault to use his tremendous heart. I mean, they don't call him the Lionheart for nothing. He's got to count on his heart to pull him through this.
Vigneault going back to his corner. He was just in a neutral corner as Yves Levin gets ready to start these fighters again with, I don't think any much more than 20 seconds left in the second round. I could be wrong. It could be even less. Oh, 40 seconds left. Here we go. Fighters touch gloves, and they're on the roll again with a nice leg shot by Jermaine Andre. Oh, nice uppercut by Jermaine Andre as well. And Vigneault, look at him. He just unloads. Oh, and a takedown by Steve Vigneault. That's going to count for points. And he's being very active, and he's not lacking in any aggression, I would think, in round number 2, guys.
Absolutely. He's really coming at Andre.
That crowd's got to be a driving force. I don't care what they say. Some people say they can't hear it when they're in there, but you know what? Vigneault listens to everything.
No, Vigneault's not taking any big shots right now. He's trying his best to land some blows, but it just seems that Andre was able to cover up and protect himself and neutralize what Vigneault was trying to do to him.
Round number 2 is in the books. 1 minute rest period as Steve Vigneault helps up Jermaine Andre off the mat, and we're going to get set for round number 3 as we take a look at some replays from the action from round 2. Great job by both fighters. How do you score round 2, Mark?
I'm giving that round definitely to Vigneault. He got the takedown. He was superior with the blows. I have this fight even.
Yeah, I would hate to be a judge at this point. Here you see Jermaine Andre rolling from the knee bar, and there he gets the heel hook. And Vigneault just said, nah, not today. Oh, and that was a great elbow shot we missed. I actually didn't catch that during the fight, but Jermaine Andre with a great elbow shot. Left elbow right on the jaw of Steve Vigneault. Oh, great punches by Steve Vigneault as well. He's got great combinations. He's very fast for a guy his size, and he has a lot of power packed behind him for a middleweight.
Yeah, I think whatever trepidation Steve had coming into this fight have gone out the window here. He looks confident, he's got a good feel for Jermaine, and he is not being intimidated. He is just keep on coming at him.
And Jermaine Andre explosive at the start of this round as the fighters touch gloves as always. As we get set for the action of round number 3, and Steve Vigneault with a takedown right off the bat. Jermaine Andre didn't look like he was expecting that.
Condition really plays a role in these fights. I mean, you got to prepare yourself to peak halfway through the fight. You can't be peaking for the fight and be downhill battle the rest of the a downhill run the rest of the time. You need to peak in the middle while your opponent's on his way down, and that's exactly what Steve Vigneault is doing to Jermaine Andre.
See Jermaine Andre with an open guard right now. I mean, I'm not sure if Steve Vigneault is comfortable in this position or perhaps he'll try to pass, but Jermaine Andre looks like he's trying to fling his legs up, maybe climbing for a triangle or an armbar, Mark?
Jermaine Andre doesn't seem to be doing too much besides trying to survive under there. I mean, his legs are just flopped to the side. He's not climbing them. If I were him, I'd have my guard closed. A closed guard's better than no guard, and you can at least push him away, control your opponent a little bit, and play with his leverage to neutralize a lot of his punches.
And evidently he hears everything that you're saying because he's doing that right now. Jermaine Andre, he looks to have a little snap in those punches from that position. He's not going to get a double leg on Steve Vigneault from that position, that's for sure. Vigneault looking to mount here, perhaps. That would be one hell of a way to go into round number 3 with 3:35 left in this middleweight super fight. Both fighters look like they're breathing pretty heavy, but Vigneault almost seems like he's picking up steam. I don't know if it's maybe just me, but it looks like he's getting a little stronger as the fight goes on.
You know what, JT? I think it's that added confidence, too. As it's going, he's feeling better about this fight. He's feeling more comfortable in there, and he's starting to open up on Jermaine here.
Jermaine Andre going for another heel hook here. Perhaps going to transition. He's got it locked on tight, but Vigneault doesn't look like he's panicking whatsoever. He's pushing off with his other leg, and Vigneault's just going to stand up.
Fantastic composure from Vigneault here. I'm very impressed.
I'm impressed as well. Even with the ropes in the way, Mark, he's still finding a way to fight out of this.
Well, that's what you get when you train with good guys. I mean, you got guys that just, if they're always being attacked and they're always getting caught in these things in training, and they know what they can withstand and they know when they're in danger, they're not going to panic. He's a seasoned fighter. He knows what he's doing in there.
Exactly. And you're only as good as the guys you train with. And Steve Vigneault trains with some fantastic fighters. I mean, if you keep training with the same guys and you're constantly beating them, you're technically not learning anything.
No, that's right. That's why I'm real blessed to train down at Renzo Gracie's academy. I mean, I got some great fighters that I get to train with day in and day out, being Renzo Gracie, Rodrigo Gracie, Ricardo Almeida. And these kind of guys just bring my level up, and it brings your confidence up. If you actually land something on them or you do something well in the ring or on the mats, I mean, you take that anywhere else and you're going somewhere with it.
And Steve Vigneault's got to be comfortable for doing just that right now. I mean, a lot of people wrote Vigneault off and thought he was going to get knocked out, but he survived to the third round, and right now, he's the aggressor in my books.
Yeah, you know what? Andre just looks like he doesn't have too much of an answer here for what Steve's bringing. He's really pushing the action.
Vigneault all about the ground and pound at this point. 1:53 left in round number 3.
I think Steve Vigneault just has too many tools for Jermaine Andre. I mean, Jermaine Andre came out with the striking, his takedown defense, but they put him into a different realm right now, and he's not comfortable.
TKO stand-up rule there, no stalling on the ground. Vigneault wasn't really doing anything to better his position, and that helps Jermaine Andre, because I don't know, from where I'm sitting, Jermaine Andre didn't want to be there in the first place, but it didn't look like he had much to stand up. This will take a lot out of you in the third round, no doubt. Watch for a takedown here by one of these two guys. Jermaine Andre looks like he's measuring up for it, and Vigneault looks like he's going to get it, and he does. And that's only going to go to the judges' scorecards if this fight, in fact, does continue for the next 60 seconds.
Well, Jermaine Andre basically sat down to guard there. I mean, that's a stand-up fighter giving up right there. He doesn't know. He's got no more answers. So to me, he's just throwing in the towel, hoping for the best in the judge's decision.
Yeah, which is going to be hard to get at this point because Vigneault he's moving forward and he's doing what he wanted to do. I can guarantee you that when Jermaine Andre trained for this fight, this wasn't the position that he found himself in 9 out of 10 times.
No, Vigneault's playing it smart too. He's keeping his head nice and protected, landing shots. He's not absorbing too many at all.
No, he doesn't look like he's really willing to pass either. He's very comfortable in the position that he's in.
I'm amazed by his conditioning too. Doesn't look to be breathing too hard, not panicked.
Yeah, Jermaine's playing a very defensive game for the most of round number 3. He had a couple of good shots in, but Vigneault's got the takedowns. He's being more aggressive. And, looking at it from this vantage point, if I were a judge, which I'm not, Vigneault's got this fight.
No, I have to agree with you. I mean, Vigneault's trying to finish the fight. Jermaine Andre's trying to survive the fight.
Yep, I agree. This fight is just about over, and there's the bell. Steve Vigneault, I think he knows something that everyone else knows. Jermaine Andre, both fighters embracing. That was a war.
An absolute war. Both those guys must be pretty drained right now. I think it's adrenaline keeping them on their feet at this point.
Buddy, that hurts me just looking at it. Take a look at some of the replays here from round number 3. Vigneault with a takedown very early into the round, and this is pretty much where the fight stayed. Here you see Jermaine Andre going for that heel hook again, but Vigneault very composed, very poised, knows what he's doing, turns over, and he even turns into the ropes, John, and that's what kind of impressed me. Vigneault's in a kind of a lose-lose situation. He's in a submission and he's in the ropes, but he still manages to get himself out of it.
Kept a cool head.
What makes me laugh is this annoyed look he has on his face, like, Jermaine, what are you doing to my foot? Let go.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it hurts. He almost looks like he's pissed. He doesn't look like it's really bothering him at all.
That was more of an annoyance than anything.
Yeah, I would not want to piss off the Lionheart.
No, not really. I can think of better things to do with my Friday, or Saturday, or Monday through Friday. It doesn't matter. Any day of the week, I wouldn't want to see him staring at me with that look on his face. Let's get the official word from Anthony Horn.
Ladies and gentlemen, par décision unanime, unanimous decision, le Canadien, Steve Vigneault.
And there you have it, unanimous decision for the Lionheart. Steve Vigneault, and Jermaine Andre looks like he took it in stride. He knew it was coming.
A hard-fought victory for Vigneault. He earned every minute of that fight.
He clearly dominated that third round. There was no doubt in my mind that the decision was going to go to Vigneault.
Well, there you go, guys. Great job by Steve Vigneault. What do you think of that performance?
Unreal. He's a machine.
Yeah, that's why they call him the Lionheart. Mark, what do you think?
I think it was a great fight. I mean, it really proved that he can fight on the international scene, and it's going to take him to the next level.
Let's see what's next for Steve Vigneault.